Hello Kaiju fans, welcome back to the Kaiju World Order. My name is MM, and this is Monster of the Week, where I'm about to talk about a monster that was voted on by members of the Kaiju Hugbox Discord server that you can join by just following the links in this channel's description. Now, getting right into this like we always do, this week's monster happens to be Black End. What is Black End? Well, Black End is the final monster from Ultraman Leo. It appears very briefly at the end of episode 50 before making its real debut in episode 51, where it is summoned to take out Ultraman Leo by the command of the aptly named Commander Black. Now, Black End is the last and supposedly most powerful of Commander Black's organic saucer beasts from the planet Black Star. Black End, you see the theme here, came to Earth and then just went underground like alien monsters do. It triggered a series of dramatic earthquakes, and eventually it popped up in Tokyo and began to call out our hero Leo in its native tongue of very high-pitched, annoying screeching. Because his little buddy was getting overly used to Leo saving the day, Leo decided not to transform and fight the monster and instead allowed it to destroy some more buildings, kill more people, and then vanish back underground. Not long after, Commander Black spotted Leo trying to teach the boy a lesson about self-reliance. Seeing this as a perfect time to strike, Commander Black summoned Black End once more. Coming out of the ground and spitting fire at the two humans that it just couldn't hit for some reason, Black End decided to face plant itself in an attempt to crush them after they finally found cover. It missed, and Ultraman Leo finally transformed to fight the monster. Once this battle started, Leo began to make quick work of the beast. Despite its ability to sprout spikes from the holes in its body, Black End found itself with a mouthful of its own pointy bits. Seeing his final monster failing, the evil commander took Leo's little buddy hostage. However, the alien warlord failed to realize the sheer determination of Japanese Toku kids. He was ganged up on and straight up weaponized by a bunch of school children. They took his magic orb, threw it to Leo, and he simply energized it, threw it back at Black End, and blew the damn thing up. Without his orb or any shred of dignity and manhood left thereafter, Commander Black simply began to melt into a puddle of goo, and the world was saved once more, and Ultraman Leo decided to leave the planet and go back to space. The end. As you can tell, Black End is a very straightforward monster. Despite being the final boss of the series, it's not really built up. It doesn't really do all that much. I'd argue it's not even the strongest of the Leo monsters he fought, but I do think it is a neat design. It's based, or at least it appears to be based, on a ladybug. Concept art shows it extending even more spikes from the holes or the black spots in its body, but unfortunately we've never seen it again. I was honestly surprised all the way back in the days of Ultraman Mebius that Black End never returned. It seems like such an obvious Leo monster to come back instead of like Nova. Black End, while never coming back, has been name dropped here and there in the Ultra franchise. His powers were explored in order to give Windom fireball attacks in Ultraman Mebius. He pops up in some stage shows here and there. Unfortunately, he doesn't have much merchandise either. I know there's an X Plus. There's some very stylized, very expensive Marmot-like figures of Black End. I don't have any of them, but a friend of mine does. I think there's some gashapons and like little 3-inch candy toy stuff, but as for an actual figure of Black End, like a 6-inch or even straight up Spark Doll Ultra 500 release, he hasn't gotten one yet. I'm still hoping we get an Ultra 500 one. Be nice. But, yeah. And then, just as for how powerful this thing is, Black End, I still feel he's a lot like all the other Ultra monsters, specifically the final boss ones, minus a few. Yeah, he's upper tier compared to some of the other monsters Leo fought, but he's still not all that powerful. His main attack is just a flamethrower. So he's not going to do much against, say, a Godzilla, let alone a Gamera who eats flames. He could probably give someone like maybe Titanosaurus a run, or King Caesar, Jet Jaguar, stuff like that. But for facing someone like Godzilla or a Ghidorah, nah, he's not gonna make it. Maybe Gigan or Megalon, that could be a cool one. But tell me what you think. If you remember this monster or not, post in the comments. And till next time, Kaiju fans, peace out, and Minya, take it away.
Says you should like and subscribe.